It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Insight, Mayor Anthony Fanucci's program that I co-host with him. But the mayor is on vacation, as the kids, I guess, are traveling a little bit for the summer or the spring vacation. And we certainly are happy to have Paul Spinelli with us, who's one of the chief council people. How many years have you been on council, Paul?
Since 2012.
Wow. And yeah, you guys just got reelected, what, a year ago?
It's 2 years.
2 years ago.
So we have 2 more years, a year and a half.
So 2012, you'll be 12 years when your term is up, which is really a good amount of time. And, you know, it's interesting. I know you've really sort of taken to being the liaison to the VDID, the Vineland Downtown Improvement District. Tell us a little bit about what's happening there, Paul.
Yeah, we had a meeting this morning. The VDID is very active in Vineland. Their initial mission was to take care of Landis Avenue, get businesses involved, and get them the vacant buildings filled, and also to beautify that portion of the town. Now we have an NPP grant that actually is bringing us more into the neighborhoods, so we can actually go back into Elmer Street, Wood Street, and Quince and Cherry and Pear, and actually start helping those portions of the neighborhood as well. So we're looking up to spruce up Gonzalez Park, get a sign put up there because it was never done, and looking to plant some trees and clean up some stuff and beautify other portions of it, maybe put another park somewhere in the downtown region if there's room. So they're being very proactive in doing all that. And then they run many of our special events, not all.
Yeah, it's amazing. Of course, Brian Lankin was on with me Monday night, and we were talking about some of the fabulous events, and 2 of them, the car show, Paul, draws like 20,000 people.
Oh, yeah, 20,000, and that's coming up in June. We're looking at the Food Truck Festival in August. There's a sponsor appreciation night coming up, I think sometime in May. There's another event I know in September. The parade is November.
That's my favorite.
Yes.
And Josie likes that too.
And then Josie's event is the
first weekend
old-fashioned Christmas, the first weekend of December. So they're very busy. They have formed 5 or 6 internal committees that actually help them prepare. So it's not all just 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
We've increased. We've actually, with this MPP grant, we're getting a couple of new employees that will be working just in the downtown region. So it'll take some onus off of the 1.5 maintenance guys that we basically have now.
Right. Yeah, and the other thing too, I know there's a 5K run that goes down.
Yes, that's coming up.
Popular, and I know last year, to Josie's credit, she had the idea of the old-fashioned Christmas, and you did it for 3 days, and all the reviews were great. Everybody loved it. And I know the Landis Theater worked with you on that, and of course you had the old-fashioned buggy rides, I guess, with Santa, and those type things, which were fantastic. And there's just something special as growing up, you know, in Millville, but coming up to Vineland and looking at that Christmas parade and the red and green lights, which I love, and the Christmas parade where Santa gets down around 7th Street and taps his wand and all the lights come on at one time.
Right.
I mean, it's just fabulous to see all
tradition.
of that. It is, isn't it? It's something we've had all my life, I'm sure yours too, that we've remembered, you know, for the red and green lights. And,
yes, and we're in the process, actually, Jim, of we actually found a company, and we're going to test them out. We got white lights that we can actually string across the street.
That is fabulous.
That will actually change color.
Really? You found those, huh?
So we did find them. It took a little bit of work. They're not cheap. We got to do a little infrastructure change with our electronics, but we will be able to change the light colors, like when it's not Christmas. We'll be able to change it to like white.
Wow, that's
great. And we can light up that 1 or 2 Main Street block if we choose to white. And this way, it really opens up the perception of safety, room, people moving around, etc. And to Josie's credit, she got the old tradesman's clock working.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
With the help of our electric utility, who did all the mechanical work.
Oh, that's neat.
The city and the Rotary helped pay for for buying the parts.
Oh, that's nice.
And there'll probably be a dedication very soon for all that. So there's a lot of good things happening downtown, and we're always looking for more and more. The theater is starting to really pick up. Ray Mamrek and Casey Zalowski are doing a great job with Casey Ray's. They're open 5 out of 7 days. They're closed, I think, Tuesday and Wednesday.
That's the second floor.
That's up second floor.
Okay.
They have house bands some nights. They have karaoke nights. They have amateur nights. They have comedy night.
Oh, that's
and
neat.
They've been bringing in a lot of great tribute bands.
They're popular.
The other night, Journey Band last week brought in 450 people.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So it's really good.
Yeah, that's a smart move. People enjoy those. They're affordable, and they draw very, very well. Well, we had a couple of our good friends saying hello to us. Tim DeLuise, who's, in my opinion, one of the best sign people in the city of Vineland. Tim, I do need to get a couple signs made. I promise I'll get there soon. And Stu Berman, who he and I go way back to Cumberland County College days. And
Stu and I go back to high school.
Okay, so yeah, he said, you're doing a fine job, Spin, so that's nice to hear. And, the dedication that you put into this and the experience you have really means a lot, and you care about the town and your slate. I mean, the people with you, the mayor does a great job, and you and Elizabeth Arthur and Ronnie Francis-Chini and Al Vargas, and who's the one I keep forgetting?
David Acosta.
David Acosta, yeah.
So we've been very lucky. We've had good people since Anthony's run for mayor. We had good people before that. Unfortunately, we had some issues with our mayor, but beyond that, we stopped the bleeding, as I tell everybody, during that term. And with Anthony being mayor and the council working together, and I've got to tell you, a great city hall staff.
Well, you do. You've got some fantastic people
and
there.
We're all on the same page. We're all pushing in the same direction, trying to get stuff done.
I tell the story of Jane Janarone and I flipped 3 houses in Vineland, and we got to deal with your construction official department. Of course, I know Derek from when he was in Millville, and Joy and Rhonda, and of course Rabbi's there. I mean, and they can't do enough to help you, but they'll tell you this is what you need. Okay, I know, and I got to go get it, and then it's fine. And they don't try to cut your legs out from under you. They try to help facilitate what you need to have done, and that's what people want. In fact, John Rubin told me how pleased he was when he went from Millville to Vineland, and how cooperative everybody in Vineland has been with him. And he's just done a phenomenal job. My goodness, Northeast Precast is exploding.
It is exploding. It's 450 employees.
Isn't that fantastic?
And I know he just is winning an award also for his development there from the Southern New Jersey Development Corporation.
Yeah.
And so he'll be honored tomorrow night along with Anthony, who I'm representing because he's away, and Jerry Velasquez from this Cumberland County Authority.
Yeah.
So we're I think Darlene Barber as well. Is getting something. Yeah. So, but as a town, the city of Vineland has really strived to make it easier for people to come here. At one time, it was very difficult.
Yeah, I was going to say, Paul, it was just the opposite.
And,
sort of like what
we have
we're getting in Millville.
And luckily, for the most part, things have gone pretty smooth.
Boy, it's all about the people. I mean, I remember, 10, 15 years ago, people complained about Vineland. You had somebody there that just didn't seem to be wanting to cooperate and get everything going. boy, it's all about the good people you have, and you have so many good people. And I've dealt with the economic development department, the finance department. Of course, Keith Petrosky, I think the world of, one of the best city clerks in the state of New Jersey. And of course, you guys and Anthony and all the people here. And because of that, you see the growth, folks, that's happening here in Vineland. It is phenomenal. It really is, Paul. To you guys' credit, it's unbelievable.
Well, I was actually stating this morning at the VDID meeting that one of the things that the city of Vineland is actually looking for right now is industrial properties.
Yes.
Because we're running out of land. Our industrial parks are, if not full, very close to capacity.
Yeah.
And people are coming and looking to do things. So we're actually expanding a lot of it down onto Garden Road and up onto Oak Road a little bit. So we're picking out those pieces that are contiguous to try to, get more land for these people that want to come in. So, it's a good problem to have.
Sure is, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a tough solution for them.
Yeah.
But again, I can't hit it enough that working with guys like Bobby Dickinson, Matt Rabbi, Rick Tanetta, I work with Keith very close. Keith is you're right. He's probably, if not the best city clerk, very close.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
In getting things done and knowing the history of everything.
Exactly.
He's like the history of Vineland.
Yeah, and he was economic development before. So
he's
made him the city clerk.
He's very knowledgeable, and and Anthony's been very palatable to working with people. And Sandy Forsiski, she happens to be on vacation, but I know she was on the show last week.
Yes, she was.
And Sandy will go bend over backwards to try to help you get UEZ money.
Yeah.
So I mean, you name it, we got people in cooperative spots.
Well, and all the good things that Vineland offers, the land, obviously, but you get your own Vineland electric, which is cheaper than any electric in the area. And I think one of the things was for cold storage, the difference in the money they save by being in Vineland, as being in Atlantic City electric area, has got to be at least 20% cheaper because the rates from the city of Vineland are much less expensive than Atlantic electric rates. And in fact, Paul, it's funny, I think of when I helped build the South Vineland ballpark there on Lincoln Avenue, and I tell this story that I was, by trying to raise the money and trying to get people to donate and all that stuff. So Atlantic Electric at that time serviced that area, South Vineland. So I went to them and I said, guys, we're putting up a new ball field. We need electric poles. Do you have any used electric poles? No, there's no such thing. Well, I saw a whole bunch there, a little bit down in South Millville, but they wouldn't give me any. But City of Vineland came through. They said, no problem. We'll give them to you. And we had, electrical contractors gave us their services. We only had to pay for materials. And that's a beautiful field. It got switched over from the Cumberland Independent League that played there to the City of Vineland. In fact, when my cousin Harry Curley was there, the city took it over. It's a beautiful field. All kind of recreational things go on there. That organization, that travel ball organization is there and stuff like that. So that's a great facility. And while we're down there, it's interesting. There's some discussion about maybe some buildings or something going down there as well. That is the next best place, considering the Vineland Industrial Park. And Sandy said to me, the Vineland Industrial Park, as soon as you get on 55, it's a 30-minute drive to the bridge.
Right.
So the other good place, and I used to own the property, WMVB property, down in the southernmost part of Vineland, and the properties around that are very easy for them to get to Route 55, exit 26. So they're about 8 miles south of 34, but still within 5 minutes they're on 55, and that's what you need for trucking. You need that 55 corridor, and that's why Vineland has done so well. You really have. It's been
our marketing has been astronomical.
Yes. Oh gosh, yeah, that's true.
And we market ourselves as a cold storage hub.
Yeah.
We've actually done heavy marketing in the Philadelphia area because Philadelphia is also marketing themselves as a cold storage hub, but they don't have much cold storage. It all comes down here, which is okay. Yeah. Because we benefit as well. But that area around Lincoln and 55 is a big. Yeah. As you can see, that whole intersection's been changed
Yeah,
around.
nice. Yes,
And it worked out well.
Yeah.
And John's got his big plant
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And he's
A lot of
building
activity.
a golf course.
Yes.
And he's got a lot of other land that surrounds it. And he's looking, I guess, for some prospects to rent and or lease or maybe even sell.
Right.
Naturally if the price is right.
Sure.
And to bring more businesses in, because he is actively generating interest.
Well, you said he now has 450 employees?
I think it's right around there. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I see the trucks everywhere, and everybody I talk to is, in fact, I think it was Ray Kroc said that he provided him with a building for his cold storage up in the industrial park. And, I tell you, John Ruga is an amazing man. I remember meeting him when I was the mayor, probably in the early 2000s. And I watched what he was doing, and I went, wow, this is really neat, because at that time, that wasn't called Northeast Precast, but what they did was they put like concrete blocks together and made a cellar.
Right.
So it shaved all that time. And I thought, wow, this is really great. Well, not only did he do that, now he has all these concrete walls that are made that can prefab a building like really quickly.
Yes, right.
The cold storage type things, and he's all over the Delaware Valley and probably even more than that. And so happy for him. Such a nice person.
Yeah, he is a good person.
He sees what he's doing.
Yes.
And he's been a big help to the city of Vineland, and I know you guys work well with him. So there's a lot of good things happening in Vineland. We'll be back to talk more about those good things right after we take time out for these messages.
For home, auto, and business insurance in the tri-state area, there's only one place to go, and that's Hardenberg Insurance. At Hardenberg, we use our 60 years of experience in the insurance industry and leading-edge technology to provide a strategic plan to best meet the needs of our clients. Our staff's expertise extends to all varieties of insurance coverages and allow us to keep pace in this continually evolving industry. When you are looking for home, auto, or business insurance, make sure to contact Hardenberg Insurance.
I'm Brian Lankin, third generation business owner. Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Have you ever wanted to make the big money? Have you ever wanted to drive the big construction equipment? Here's your chance to go to school, learn the big machines, and start a new career. MCITC is a heavy equipment operator training school that offers you the opportunity to learn to use the big machines and start earning the big benefits. Don't hesitate. Call today 856-825-6655. That's 856-825-6655. Or visit our website at mcitcnj.com. It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. I'm Jim Quinn, sitting in. Well, I actually should be here as the co-host, but I have sitting in for the mayor, Councilman Paul Spinelli, and Paul and I have got a couple other messages. Steve Tatt said, great job, Paul. And Ron, your cousin Barnaby, said, hello, gentlemen. Did Ron have plumbing?
Ron was a painter.
Oh, painter, okay. I know he did.
His brother was a plumber.
Okay, gotcha. That's good. I want to mention that we are televising live from the Queen Restaurant 2. We're at Lincoln and Landis Avenue in Vineland, one of the most attractive restaurants in the city of Vineland. Beautiful paintings, very, very nicely done. And you know, Yilmaz Kangle, who's the owner, said, Jim, it's tough. Inflation is hurting people. So he said, I'm going to do something to try to help. I said, what's that, Paul? Or what's that, Yilmaz? He said, I'm going to run everyday specials, all day, every day, 2 dinners for $25. You heard me right, folks. 2 dinners for $25. Now, what does a dinner include? It includes soup or salad, your choice, whatever you'd like. And here's some examples of the dinner. In fact, Paul had this tonight. It was chicken parm with your choice of pasta. And you also get a dessert as well. So you get Paul had chicken parm with spaghetti. He had soup. I had salad. I had the chicken pot pie, and I had pudding, and Paul had ice cream for dessert with that, and I had 2 vegetables. I actually had cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. The food. Some of the other examples: 2 dinners for $25, $12.50 a dinner. That includes soup or salad, entree, vegetable, and dessert. That's a heck of a deal. And as I mentioned, Paul had chicken parm. They have meatloaf. They've got baked homemade lasagna, ziti with meatball, eggplant parmesan, grilled marinated chicken with vegetable, baked stuffed shell parmesan with a meatball, sauteed calf's liver. You don't have to worry about me ever eating that, with fried onion and a vegetable, sauteed chicken scampi over your choice of pasta. This I get a lot. It's excellent. Roast turkey and stuffing, cranberry sauce and a vegetable, and spaghetti with 2 meatballs. All of those are just $12.50. 2 for $25. If you come individually, they're $13.99. But bring a guest, 2 for just $25, and you can't beat it. It's all day, every day here at the Queen Restaurant in Vineland. And the food you get here, it's excellent. And if you want to splurge, you want to get some big desserts, they've got fabulous desserts. I think they're like $4.99, but $3.99. Dessert special is cheesecake tonight, $3.99, which is, again, very affordable. But Paul, when we look at downtown Vineland, this was funny. I saw an ad. I didn't realize it was an ad. I saw something on Facebook about some grandmom being held up at a Vineland store or near a Vineland store or something. I thought, that's odd. You know what it was? It was an advertisement. And what it did, they were promoting that the grandmom should have one of these things where you pull the pin and it makes the noise. Right. And I'm thinking, that's a heck of a thing to do, because I was saying, I really and truly find downtown Landis Avenue to be as safe as any place I've ever been. I've been down there all hours, especially when Grant Plaza was open. I go for comedy shows. I've been to the Landis Theater. I just don't see it. And there's great police presence. You have a wonderful police force. This is a funny story I have to tell you. I'm sitting in here about a week ago on a Sunday evening, and a police officer comes in to get a takeout. And he comes over to me and he goes, "Hey, Mr. Quinn," he said, "I'm Aaron Lane." I said, "Oh, Aaron, how are you? I didn't know you were a Vineland police officer." He said, "Yeah." Well, he was a teacher in Millville. He taught math. He started as a Special 2 in Vineland, besides being a math teacher. And to Vineland's credit, you've got Special 2s, which is fabulous, because they are like having a fully trained police officer at a much lower rate, too. But so he was doing that. He said, "I just enjoyed it so much." He said, "I resigned as a teacher, became a full-time Vineland police officer." And what a great guy he is. He is one of the nicest people you'd ever meet in your life. So I'm happy for you guys, and he's there too.
We had a council meeting last night, and we actually had the police in. And we're actively recruiting, as all police forces are.
Absolutely.
Because we're short men.
Yeah.
And but I got to tell you, under Chief Cassiano and his group of captains, I would say our police force is second to none. They're hard workers. They do the job. They don't goof off. They're very professional.
Yes, they
are.
Et
cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And for the most part, their presence is seen in most parts of town. I've seen patrols in my neighborhood, which I hadn't seen in years. And I live in Franklin Heights, which is the old East Vineland.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, they are patrolling. They're out and about, and they deserve everything that we're trying to help them get. And they're good people as well as good police officers.
And you guys have a beautiful police building you just opened a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's relatively new. It has its own issues, I guess, as every building does. When you find out when you move in that something was forgotten to be put in, or you didn't know you needed it at the time, but with times changing, you need it. So we're taking care of that too, and we're looking forward because we got a new firehouse coming.
Oh, where's that going to be?
Where Limper Brothers was.
Oh, sure. Right. Gotcha. Yeah.
So company 4 is going to be moving.
Are they the one where I go
away.
get the roses?
Yes.
Okay.
And that building has seen better days. And
Yeah.
this coming next week, next Friday, actually we're swearing in new firemen and new EMTs. I think 6 EMTs that we put on the program where we were paying their tuition to take the course have passed out of 10.
Well, that's good.
And new 4 or 5 new firemen, and our first ever female career fire.
Oh, that's
fire
fantastic.
person.
That's great.
So we're kind of excited about that, and again, it's I think it's proving that the Finucci administration, along with everybody involved in it, we're not holding anybody back. They're good people. They do the things they're supposed to. They're going to move up. Our police force is probably more diversified than ever.
Yeah.
We're
My
getting
friend
there with-
Renee Bauer is captain.
Right. We're getting more females involved. We're getting more minorities involved. And probably the most ever Hispanics involved in
That's
our
great.
force. And our PAL program is out the roof, and we have explorers working there.
Oh, that's super.
And they're candidates going forward
Right.
to be
Yeah,
future
police
police.
officers, yeah.
So, we're getting very young,
Yeah.
and they're getting that culture of what you need to be a police officer and following what you have to do.
That's where Josie is tonight.
That's where Josie's at tonight.
I
yes.
wanted to buy Josie dinner, but she said, nope, I got to go serve. I'm a police.
Yeah, she's involved. There's no
that's
doubt
great.
about it. That's a good thing.
It sure is. It really is. And her ideas. I am so happy that Josie came up with the idea of lights. It's funny, when I was mayor of Millville, I wanted to put white lights downtown.
Right.
But the way it was set up with Millville, we don't control the poles. It just didn't work. It was too cost expensive. It didn't work. And boy, I'm so glad, because I tell you what, not only for brightening up the downtown, I think the white light adds ambiance to
Yes,
the
it does.
downtown as well. Makes it classy looking, and you've got some beautiful buildings down there. It's the people that have been there for a long time, and when Brian and I were talking about the diversity of
Right.
all of the restaurants, my goodness, you name it. That's
Yeah, it's like we have
fabulous.
7 different varieties
Yeah,
of
isn't that
food.
great? Yeah,
So if you like, various foreign foods,
right.
it's all there. And for the most part, there's some kind I don't eat because that's just me.
Yeah,
But for the most part, everything I've heard and or tried has been very good.
yeah, and that's wonderful. It really is, and and I understand somebody's going to be renting Grant Plaza. They're going to be
Someone
opening
is allegedly doing that. I don't know who.
it. Okay,
I know Sandy talked about it before she left. but
right. Yeah,
I didn't get any details from her. So, but that's going to be occupied as well.
yeah. That's
And the
great.
downstairs as well.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you're not going to find a lot of empty spaces.
No.
There aren't many. There might be 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Uh,
Out of a couple hundred
right.
stores.
But what we're also doing is getting rid of the blight.
Yeah.
Even on the back streets, if it's old and decrepit and can't be saved, and it's a nuisance, we're knocking it down.
Yeah, that's smart.
And we're looking for millennial housing. We entertained one of the companies that came in and gave us an offer for a site on 7th Street, but we turned it down because it didn't fit the motif of the town.
Right. Yeah.
So we kind of thought it would stick out like a sore thumb.
Uh-huh.
So, but there's others going to come up. So we're looking at that as well.
You do have housing over top of the stores.
Over top of the stores, the
is
old
good,
ones
yeah.
that people, if they've
Grandfathered
renovated
in.
the apartments,
Right. Yeah.
et cetera, there is some
Yeah.
of that. But
But that's usually pretty good because it gives you tenants for the businesses and we've talked about and I know you were very active, Paul, in getting the Landis Square
right,
going there. And again, the other administration's moving a different way, and you and Anthony and your people moved the thing forward.
Right.
And I remember people saying, "Oh, who's going to want their mother or father living on this
Act.
avenue?" It's a waiting list.
waiting list.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a waiting list of almost 400.
Oh wow, I heard 300. Jeez, that's
And,
fabulous. Of course, the
with
Newcomb
the
thing will
new
be good.
one,
Yeah,
There's a waiting list now for that. So now they're not really even interviewing anything. They're taking applications, I think.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure there's going to be a waiting list once that goes.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And it's being, again, Hans Lamberts, who gets the credit, the federal tax credits and stuff.
Yeah.
He did Landis Square, and he's doing these over near Newcomb. And, that's wonderful.
And again, that's renovating a part of town.
Yes.
That was really dilapidated.
Yeah. Since the hospital closed, yeah.
If you get those two up, if you get assisted living right with it,
one.
and then we got the EMT building right there, and then you have complete care in that other line, and then the parking garage will be put into use.
Yes, that's true.
So that whole block now is going to be busy.
Yeah, rather than just sitting empty, it's going to have a lot.
And I think you're going to see a rejuvenation of the housing around there too.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, the houses are still pretty decent, but it'll even bring the values up more, get that around. And I guess the other thing, Paul, you talked about earlier, which I'm so impressed, is like Montrose in the streets where the VDID is going to be able to do some rehabbing and restoration and, make those beautiful buildings come back to life, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah, we actually, the VDID, we put them in Aaron Melnick's area for the housing and stuff. Andre Rivera, who runs the races, he's the one that puts on our races.
Right, yeah. Vineland.
Well, he's actually employed by the city now, and he's going to be helping Aaron do that MPP program in those neighborhoods because he's from those neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's nice.
So he knows the people,
yeah.
and he can get them to cooperate a little easier than we probably could.
That's good. That's key.
And again, putting another key person in place. So that's the key.
It is. We're talking with Paul Spinelli here on Insight. Mayor Finucci is on vacation. He'll be back next month, and we'll be back with Councilman Paul Spinelli right after these messages.
Changing colors. Life's colors change daily for each of us. We go from happy to sad, anxious to peaceful. There's events we endure and ones we enjoy. The colors of life are always changing, but there's one that's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Come, let us introduce you to him, New Life Church, the church of many colors.
Welcome to Freedom Market, located at 701 North High Street in Millville. Freedom Market offers a wide array of gently used furniture, books, knickknacks, kitchen appliances, brand new mattresses and box springs, and a whole lot more. Need to make room in your garage or clear out that bonus room? Consider donating your items to Freedom Market and know that your donation is 100% tax deductible, while also supporting their ministry and helping our community thrive. Freedom Market, so much more than a thrift store. Call 856-300-5342.
For home, auto, and business insurance in the tri-state area, there's only one place to go, and that's Hardenberg Insurance. At Hardenberg, we use our 60 years of experience in the insurance industry and leading-edge technology to provide a strategic plan to best meet the needs of our clients. Our staff's expertise extends to all varieties of insurance coverages and allow us to keep pace in this continually evolving industry. When you are looking for home, auto, or business insurance, make sure to contact Hardenberg Insurance.
It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Finucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight with Paul Spinelli and yours truly, Jim Quinn. We're talking about a lot of the great things that are happening in the city of Vineland over the past few years. It's just been amazing to see, and it's like we talked about the Landis Marketplace. Wow, what a beautiful condos, apartments there. And, the other factor is, too, people will go downtown from there, a couple blocks, a block across the street, you're at the Landis Theater, We've got other businesses you can go to and feel safe and comfortable. And I was downtown yesterday, bought a beautiful brand new pair of shoes from Brian Lankin. No problem getting a parking spot, and went in, and he's amazing. I don't know how many thousands of pairs of shoes he has. And he goes, Jim, you need 11 and a half. I said, or 10 and a half. I said, I've been getting 10. He said, you need, and he did. He was right. He brought the 10s. They were too tight. 10 and a halfs worked well. I said, you're an amazing guy.
I mean, what you're looking, can't find it in a store. You just tell him what you want.
Yeah.
He has it in the back somewhere.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's what's neat. Yeah, he just, boom. He said, what do you want? I said, brown, like slip-on dress shoes, whatever. Okay, no problem. Boom. I said, wow, I really like them too.
I do the same thing with Ruben's Hardware.
Yeah, that's nice too, isn't it?
He goes, Joe, I need this. It doesn't have it here, but he either goes in the basement or he goes in the attic, but he finds it.
And I don't know about you, but I have no knowledge of stuff, so I go to Hal Hardware in Millville, right, and I just say to him, Greg, I need this and this. But this is the other thing, it's funny stories with the city of Vineland. When I was doing the house flipping, I needed a no-tip stove adapter that goes under the stove. So I went to a big box store, and I'm sitting there forever. Nobody came over. And there was a lady sitting on the phone. So I went over to her. I said, ma'am, can you help me? She said, no, I don't work here either. I'm just trying to get somebody to come over. I said to my buddy, let's get out of here. So I called, I think, Derek Leary. And I told him, I said, Derek, where would I get that? He said, just go to Monero's, Jim. Yeah. Walked in. Oh, yeah, sure. Here you go.
There you go.
$15. It's right. Done. It's got it. Then I went to Wallace Supply, needed spigots. They are super people,
yeah, they are good people.
And Larry Berman is great at Ace Plumbing. And, we're so lucky. And Latour Hardware. I can't do anything. I mean, I don't know how to put anything together. So I go in and said, Vic, I want that lawnmower. I want this. Okay. He fixed it, got it all ready for me, puts it in a vehicle, and off I go, and it's set to go.
Yeah, they're all great places to shop.
It really is. You know what, Paul? I mean, I do like Target and I like Boscov's. They're two big stores that I like and I go to, and their employees are very nice and stuff. But I would much rather go to Ruben's Hardware or Wallace Supply or Monero's or Latour, Ace Plumbing.
It's more personal.
It is. And you know what, folks? They're the people that donate, and they're the ones that will sponsor, like Vineland football or Millville football. They're the ones that do it. And they also will, help sponsor a Little League team or a soccer team.
Exactly.
That's who does it. It's not the big box stores. You don't see their names on the kids' shirts. And I'll tell you truthfully, maybe $1 or $2 here or there. But I don't think, when you look at the overhead the big box stores has compared to what Rubens has or Latour's, they own their buildings. They don't have to worry about marking it up so much to pay a big lease land or building or whatever they have to have. Something we wanted to talk about too. I went to Target last night, and they no longer have the plastic bags in at all.
Right.
Now, to their credit, they gave me 2 canvas bags that I will bring back when I come back again. In fact, I left them in the back of my SUV. But I guess, Paul, maybe I haven't been able to get Jerry Velasquez on. I've been trying for almost a month to get him to come on and explain the plastics and why we can't use paper bags. When I was a kid, I worked at the Acme. We put everything in a paper bag. We didn't use plastic bags.
Right.
And now they even have the nice the paper bags with the handles.
Right.
But is that because we're still worried about tearing down trees? I don't know what
the paper bags are definitely made of trees. The bags that they're handing out are actually made of reproduced, recycled materials.
I see.
So when you're getting those bags from those companies or the stores, it's all recycled. So you're getting a recycled use of paper, where the brown bag's not.
Yeah.
It's not to say they couldn't make a brown bag out of recycled material, because I'm sure they could.
Yeah.
But I just think it's more practical. You put the handles on it, you put a lot of color on it, so it looks pretty.
Yeah.
More women than men shop.
Yeah.
So you have the ambiance of that. And I know, I guess by the end of the month, it's
May 3rd, I think.
Yeah, it's done.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So I know ShopRite, we're doing it, even though they still have the plastic bags.
Yeah.
But when we had the bags with us, that's what we use. Get used to it because that's going to be
That's it. You bet. Absolutely. You know, something else I wonder, and even like here, I got a plastic container because I had the chicken pie that had to go into the plastic container. But Paul, you got the normal takeout, which is styrofoam, and that's done. That's
done too. Yeah.
You know where I was, and maybe this is what's going to happen. I was out to Mariggy's for dinner, and I got some food to take back. They gave me a cardboard box.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
be all recycled.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good. So I just try to figure out how you're going to get that stuff home. And yeah, the canvas bags or whatever they are, that I've gotten from Target are very nice. And I now have 3 of them, and I figure I'll just keep leaving them in after I take them in the house, bring them back out. And actually, I was thinking about it, Paul. You could probably bring a cardboard box, and then put it in, load your stuff in it, unload it, and then load it back in when you're able to take it out.
Yeah.
Of course, if they come up, do you see the thing they're talking about where, I don't know if it was Amazon or they had this thing that every item you pick up at the store automatically is scanned to you, and like you just go up and pay. You don't even have to have it checked out.
Well, I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, I've read about that and because I've seen them joke about it because it's like people say, yeah, you could take that out, that type of stuff. But apparently there's a way, as soon as you come in, there's something that, I don't know what, carry something or whatever.
Well, what happens if you pick it up, look at it, and put it back?
yeah, don't play around. Yeah. Wait, now I guess it actually happens when you
probably go through
the scanner parts when it actually comes about. That would be pretty cool. The only thing now is you have, and this is something, each of you will have to bag your own bags because they're not allowed to touch your bags.
I've been doing that for years. So
yeah, well, you're just so helpful. No wonder you're the councilman. Yeah. Everybody loves you, Judy Brown said hi. Dave Farinella?
Name sounds very familiar.
David Farinella. He said, love my town. That's nice words and stuff. Well, you know what? You were talking about the police department. Paul, what an amazing job. They got 69 square miles that they have to cover, and they're everywhere. I mean, from South Vineland to North Vineland to East Vineland to West Vineland, it's everywhere. I hope you have a good number of police officers.
Well,
about 150.
We're topped out. We're about 165.
165, okay.
168, something like that. But right now we're down to 147, 148.
It's hard to find. Yeah, that's the other thing too.
New Jersey just passed a new law that changes the way you can recruit.
You can steal from other places.
Well, that's been done for years. But really, they could go into the academy and pay for the academy and pass. And if they pass and they're vetted through the background check and all the other things that go through, they do not have to pass the civil service test for entry level.
I see.
So they could be a patrolman.
Right. That's
and
great.
Then if they want to get promoted, they eventually have to take a civil service
for sergeant.
So they're trying to do it for 2 reasons. One, an alternate way to recruit.
Yeah.
And 2, to get more minorities involved.
That's good.
Because the civil service test has been sued, in fact, for being biased.
I got you.
And as I stated last night, it's a scan test, multiple choice. And if you were to give a multiple choice test like that in school today, you get a bad observation because they're not considered fair tests.
I see.
So we're looking into that, see if that's going to be a way that we're going to also try to recruit in Vineland to get them through. If you get through the academy, generally you're pretty good because the academy is the physical, the mental, and the emotional as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then if you want to take the test after, you can, but you don't have to.
Oh, that's great.
Until you get looking for a promotion.
Well, I got to tell you, you've got one of my very, very favorite former Millville police officers who works in Vineland at the schools, in Vineland Public Schools, Dave McDonald.
Oh, yeah, I bet Dave.
He is amazing. That man has got a photographic memory. I used to ride with him when I was the mayor, and they would call him, Dave, can you ID this person? And he would. And you know what he would do, Paul? He would go through the yearbooks, and he had that photographic memory. He just looked, and he'd see the names, and he'd look and look. And one day, he and I are coming back from a Phillies game on 55, and we're around Sherman Avenue, and I started to pass this car He looked over.
That's that kid.
Yeah, he says, that guy's got an arrest warrant, slow up. So I went behind him. He called the Millville police, and they never showed up. They never came to get him.
Wow.
He went and got him the next day. He knew where he lived.
I'm sure.
He went and got him. It's like, it's just, he is just, and it's a funny story. When I first got elected, he said, I want you to come down to Delsey Garden, Delsey Village with me. Well, the reputation down there was really tough. So I go down, and I was impressed, Paul. They had little picket fences out front, hanging baskets in front of their doors and stuff like that. And I talked to Mrs. Gould. She was the manager of the whole complex.
Right.
And she said, Mayor, it's because of Officer McDonald. This place is doing very well. Our crime is gone, cut in half. We have very little problems and all that. I said, that's really nice, Mrs. Gould. She said, now, do you want to hear the bad news? I said, what's that, man? She said, all my bad people that were here now live on 3rd and 4th Street in Millville.
Yeah.
So, in fact,
They relocated.
when I was there in Millville, we had a big problem with Millville Gardens. So we thought, we got the money, but we had crime every day, one call a day there. So we tore it down. Well, those people then spread out throughout the rest of the area. Well, and right around the neighborhood. It's like, but hopefully you can get them on the right track. And drugs are obviously the cancer that's eating
it's all over. Right?
It is,
Big or small city, you got those issues.
Yeah, you do.
Getting rid of blight and trying to have people keep their properties up, and crime rates, and now with legal marijuana, nobody knows what's going to happen.
Isn't that something? Wow.
So and we're in very interesting times.
Yeah, we are. And it's tomorrow when it becomes legal.
Yes.
Shoo, man. Well, I don't know. It's interesting, I guess. The people voted for it. I will say that.
I mean, look at the way the AG came down with your firemen, your police, your EMTs. Mm-hmm. If they're on personal time, can use marijuana, and you can't do anything to them when they come back on duty.
Yeah.
Well, the marijuana stays in your system 30 days.
Oh, is it that long?
Now, there's no way to test whether or not you're intoxicated from it.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You can't do anything.
It's like,
So now, if you're a cop and he's on your backup, you're thinking twice. Same thing with a fireman going into a fire, or an EMT that's messing around with medication.
Yeah.
That could save somebody's life or kill them.
Yeah.
So it was really disheartening. We're going to see how long that wall stays into effect.
Well, speaking of EMTs, I want to thank the Vineland EMT and the inspira, their backup, whatever they're called as well, I passed out at a restaurant, and I ended up at the emergency room at inspira. We did a great job, and I thank the Vineland EMTs. In fact, I'm still paying them. I get their bill, I pay it right away. But thank God they're there. Really.
Yeah, listen, I used them a month ago. They helped me as well. So.
Yeah.
And I gave them kudos. They were very good, very caring, very empathetic.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
And they did everything they could to make me comfortable and get me there.
Yeah. I was. In fact, the one fellow, Smith is his last name. He's with paramedic.
Right.
And I actually did his wedding about 25 years ago. So we had a great relationship talking, and and I was fine once I got past the short period of time that I passed out. Never had that happen in my life, but. Got to the hospital and everything was good, so happy, knock on wood, and I know you too, so that's a good thing. We're talking with Paul Spinelli, Vineland City Councilman, and we're here on the Insight Show. Next month, Mayor Finucci will be back. Right now, he's on vacation. Well-deserved, I might add, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
I'm Brian Lankin, third-generation business owner, Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off $100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Have you ever wanted to make the big money? Have you ever wanted to drive the big construction equipment? Here's your chance to go to school, learn the big machines, and start a new career. MCITC is a heavy equipment operator training school that offers you the opportunity to learn to use the big machines and start earning the big benefits. Don't hesitate. Call today 856-825-6655. That's 856-825-6655. 6655 or visit our website at mcitcnj.com. It's time for Insight, an inside view of what's happening in South Jersey. Join your hosts Anthony Fanucci and Jim Quinn as QVC brings you Insight with Anthony and Jim.
Welcome back to Insight. Jim Quinn along with Paul Spinelli, sitting in for Mayor Fanucci, who is on a well-deserved vacation. The kids are off school, and he and his wife are enjoying their time with their family, and well-deserved. It's a tough job. You guys, a lot of stuff going on, isn't it? I mean, really, and Vineland's so big, and there's so many things happening. In fact, somebody said the other day, there's another super Wawa going on at Mill and Landis. And I said, yeah, now Vineland will have 4 super Wawas. Millville has 3 supers and a regular. So there's 10 Wawas in Cumberland County. 4 in Vineland, 4 in Millville, 1 in Bridgeton, 1 in Upper Deerfield Township. But boy, when you think about it, Paul,
they all make money.
They sure do. My God. And the other thing is, there are no subways, maybe in Walmart in Vineland, but all the subways are gone.
Yeah.
You know, they really are. I guess Wawa knocks them out of the box.
Yeah, well, it's easier. First of all, it's easier access.
Yeah, that's true.
The subways are. But,
right.
that new Super Wawa is doing a lot of things, actually, because that whole intersection is going to get redone.
Yeah, that's nice.
And that's going to knock out that big hump.
Yes. Yeah, which is
it's
great.
also going to widen it for trucks.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. So you're going to see a big difference in how that intersection functions.
I see my shortcut when I'm coming off 55. I'm heading north. I make a right to head to Vineland. And in fact, when I went to Al Shoes the other day, I go to Mill Road, I make a right, I get to Chestnut, I take Chestnut all the way over until like 6th, and then go up to Al's or wherever I'm going to go on Landis Avenue. It makes it a little bit quicker, at least that way. There's an awful lot of lights in front of Walmart and ShopRite and all that area.
Stoplights for the entrances.
Yeah, so this works out for me, folks. So if you want the good, quicker way, I think that may be the way to go.
Exactly.
But it's getting downtown. And I actually want to say hello to Eddie Milborn. Eddie has Michael's Mediterranean Restaurant on LaSalle Plaza in Vineland. Some fantastic food. Really does. Mike DiDomenico stops in once in a while, but Eddie's taken over the place, and he's got some outstanding food as well. Well, we've talked, Mayor and I too, Paul, about, and you and I before we went on the air, we're talking about some really great restaurants in the Vineland area that we're very fortunate to have. So
yeah, we're very lucky. There's just, listen, we could talk definitely on the growth of what's going on in the city of Vineland and in the county, because I think you're going to start seeing Millville start really picking it up a little bit too. Hopefully, with the new administration being hopefully a little more proactive than the last.
Yeah.
But there's just so many different things, from the SPCA issue that we talked about,
right? Which
now Vineland is kind of spearheading a thing to say, hey, it should be a county SPCA. If the county's not going to pick up the ball, well, then Vineland will pick up the ball and will lead the way.
Yeah.
And we will have a county one with anyone who wants to participate.
Yeah, which is wonderful.
And we'll have a board of representation from each county that participates.
Yeah, that's nice. It really is.
So, there's just, listen, we don't mind being a leader.
No, and thank God.
If people, are going to cooperate. And again, if they don't want to be part of it, we're okay with that too.
Sure. Yeah.
We've been accused of trying to be our own county, but unfortunately, we're big enough that.
Well, thank God for Vineland. You carry half the county.
That we can do the things we want to do or need to be done.
Yeah.
Without a lot of assistance.
Yeah, which is nice. And I mean, that's where you have your own electric utility. You have so many wonderful things that Vineland offers and your health department and everything else you've got, which puts you head and shoulders above any other community, and 69 square miles. And let me tell you, folks, the city of Vineland provides half of the ratables for this entire county. There are 60-some thousand people live here, but Vineland has done a phenomenal job. 40, close to 50%, just right there. And that's what helps float the boat, and that's what helps pay the county taxes. And, it's just wonderful to do that. And all the buildings, West Landis Avenue is rocking and rolling, from the former Circle all the way out to 55 now. It has got all kind of activity, all kinds of businesses.
And you're going to see more because there's a lot of empty space out there.
Yeah, there is. Well, you guys did a good job getting the LSA to put guards in. Yeah. So that gave
that's going to help.
Yeah.
But again, we're working on a lot of different projects there. We'd like to move a couple businesses, and we're willing to help pay for it.
That's good.
To clean that corner up and make it more commercial.
Right.
And so like I said, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes.
That's super.
And I got to give the mayor and Sue Baldessera credit. I sit in on all the financial meetings, but we're probably more fiscally sound now than the city's ever been.
That's great.
Our surplus is high. We inch our tax rate up the least amount that we have to.
Right.
And we're doing all the infrastructure in the town. So
below
ground and above ground.
Exactly. The Landis Avenue area for Main Inn.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
really is.
The spending is going back to the taxpayer.
Right, which is fantastic. So they can see it and be able to utilize it and know everything's good. Paul, thank you, man, for coming in. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you, and keep up the good work. And I know once in a while you see my cousin Joe Baruffi, you tell him I said congratulations.
Yeah, I will do that. And the congratulations, I don't know, or condolences. As you know, politics is a two-sided sword.
That's true.
So,
we both been on each side
exactly.
one time or another.
So.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate you being here. I want to thank Brandon and Ryan for producing the program tonight. I want to thank Yilmaz Gangle for having us as his guest, and we look forward to seeing you again next month. And tomorrow night we will be at the New Jersey Motorsports Park at 7 o'clock with another program, so we hope you'll join us there. Take care, folks. Have a nice night.
Good night, everybody.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.